we have covered and all that. This is unit number 4. Bhushan, have you read the guideline sent by the Pune University? बाकीच्यांनी तुम्ही कुठे वाचलेत काय माहितीये का तुम्हाला काय? Anyone knows? Okay. So see here. Yesterday I post unit test notice on our group. Correct. So the respective faculty member will publish his paper on a group on that particular day mentioned in the notice. So he will publish the things in a soft copy, and you will have to write the answers on answer sheet. Yesterday we have collected the answer sheet, and number of answer sheet we are having. So you can collect from the Bhushan as well as from my side also. So we are having answer sheet. So you can take at least minimum 15 to 20 answer sheet each for every subject, so that there will not be any problem for the answer sheet. Correct. So this one be the things. Second thing, as I told you, the unit test is totally descriptive based. Totally descriptive based. It is of 30 marks, and we have planned for 5 questions, and out of that you will have to solve 3 questions. So that will be the nature of the university. Likewise, we have decided for the solution of question unit test. So actually 3 unit tests we are going to conduct, and we are going to planning for that. But just recent document coming from university, they have suggested our exam might be chances of 11th April. So they have given the guideline, and for that they have given the things. So I'll tell you, I think tomorrow I'll tell you. You just meet me after your session. So I'll tell you the things what university has decided, and that I will tell you, and so that you will have to work accordingly. So there is no as such hurdles for your side, because university have taken care of your side as well as faculty side, and they have given the decision. So that decision I'll discuss tomorrow with you all. Or Prashant is there, Bhushan is there, Sagar is there. So I'll discuss tomorrow, and they can percolate the message to you. So this is about the things. Now in previous session you can see we have covered up to static dynamic characteristics. Then we went for the data collections. Data collection, in that there are the basically 2 things are there: primary and secondary. As I told you, data collection is nothing but it is a collection of raw material, and we'll have to furnish it to dispatch in the market. That will be called as a data collection. Now there are the 2 parts: while furnishing and before furnishing. So before furnishing means it is a raw material, totally raw things, and we'll have to process. And raw material is original one, correct? And the furnished things are, might be, we can say that number of people or number of researchers have done their research on that particular for raw material or raw things, and then furnished outcome is there. So for that we have seen the data collection things. As I told you, quantitative and qualitative data. So qualitative is related with the quality. So quality is important, and according to that it can be finalized, and quantity based according to mass production, and we can define in numerical values. Then after that we have seen the primary data. The basic data is the primary is the raw data, and for that raw data we have seen this. It is a survey, primary. No one has done that. Suppose you are owner of one of the company, and you have decided to develop some product, new product. So for that, from your side, that will be the first survey, correct? So that's why it is a raw data. In case of questionnaire, I told you the various questions are there as per the situation. So that questionnaire is different. Then experimental point of view, that is again different. And direct interview, that questions are also there. In case of the observation, through experimentation, through watching the NPTEL videos, through watching the or reading the scientist patents, through which we have to define the things, define the baseline, that we called as a primary data. Of course, telephonic interview also matters, because if the distance is far or we'll have to reduce the time, so in that case we'll have to use this as a primary course. Then the secondary data collection means that it is a totally furnished data, correct? Or the whatever be the improvement need to do, that will have to done by the researcher on a raw data, and that outcome is called as a secondary data. So it is the collection, correct, and which will generally helpful for society as well as human being. Now you can see this will be the secondary data. In this case, what will happen? See, newspaper will not come raw basis or raw database. It will not come. Suppose if anything happens, suppose in case of the corona pandemic, in Pune region, this happened. So that will be the raw data. So according to that, the news will be like this. The region they have mentioned, the particular value they have mentioned, particular area they have mentioned, and particular incidents, how many hospitals and how many beds are available, and so on. So that will they will give. So it can furnish, or they have to furnish on raw data, and then it will occur. That we called as a secondary data. Correct. So newspaper is a type of secondary data. Now websites. Now you can see the website. We cannot post anything. Rather, I'm not talking about the Facebook and all that. I'm just talking about the fruitful things. Suppose Quora, we are using Quora. So officially, the Quora is not authentic, because anyone can comment, or any kind of the comment. There is no rule for the comment. There is no guideline for the comment. So that's why the websites are totally furnished, and they have used the proper information and then display the things. So likewise, so suppose in case of the company owner, or suppose you can open the Tata Motor site. In that they will give the what product they are manufactured, and since what year they are serving the things and all that. So that are totally authentic data. Correct? They have not mentioned anything. Suppose they have done their quality audit, and they will have to mention that there, that the quality audit has been done. They have some accreditation they have mentioned. So if someone have no accreditation and they have mentioned in their company profile, it is not like that. Correct? So under the company act, whatever be the rules are there, they need to follow. So that's why the authentic data will be there. Therefore the all the websites technically, or which are related to the technical point of view, that all are related to the authentic data. Correct? So this is about the website that we also called as a properly furnished data. Now third is, can anybody tell me the example of third one? We are learning about data collection, and it is about the secondary data. So can anybody, so that I will open here again, light has gone. So I'll open the things. Before that, you can tell me third one and its explanation related to secondary data. Bhushan, just tell me about the secondary data. Like this. Okay. Am I audible, Bhushan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me any example related to third point. First, newspaper website, I told you the, the authentication is very important. And third one, you can tell me.
सर आपले हिस्टॉरिकल बुक्स वगैरे ते पण सेकंडरी डेटा मध्ये येईल.
Historical, yes, raw data collect करून त्याच्यावर काम केलेलं, that will be the historic data. जे काही रामायण महाभारत आहे ते काम करून लिहिलेलं नाही.
सर आवाज क्लिअर नाही येते सर तुमचा.
ओके, नाव आता येतं काय?
हा
बोल, काय म्हणत होतास?
सर हिस्टॉरिकल बुक्स म्हणजे आता जे गड किल्ल्यावर पुरातत्व विभाग जे काम वगैरे करतात ना, आता त्यांना जे माहिती सापडतात तर तो सेकंडरी डेटा मध्ये येऊ शकतो ना.
सगळे बुक्स हे सेकंडरी डेटामध्ये येतात. एव्हरी बुक्स. वाय? सी इयर. Why? Because while writing the book, there are some criteria, there are some guidelines, there are the copyright points. So for that, the books are written always by taking reference of raw material, and the furnished process has been done on that, and through which it will publish. So that's why it's all depends on the secondary or books. All books are under the criteria of secondary data. Always remember, any book you can refer. Suppose you are using VB Bhandari for design of machine element. The book is 1985. So that 1985 information he has gathered or he has collected or author has collected by analyzing the things, and he has defined the laws and all that. Because whatever be the laws are included in that books are not developed by that author. He has collected that law, Newton's law असेल, Bernoulli's equations असेल. So he has collected and he has put in here his manner, that systematic manner we can say. So that's why books are again all books are secondary data. असं कधीच बुक्स पब्लिश होत नाही की मला वाटलं, मी लिहिलं आणि मी पेजेस टाईप केले, प्रिंट केले, कव्हर केले आणि पब्लिश केलं. नॉट एट ऑल. So book publication is there, book editions are there, book proper standardization is also there, and it have to follow the criteria and then it will have to publish. म्हणजे या सगळ्याला एक प्रोसेस आहे. ज्या गोष्टीला प्रोसेस नसते ते रॉ डेटा झाला. नाउ रेकॉर्ड्स. In case of the records, see, suppose you are preparing NAC file, NAC accreditation file, किंवा तुमच्या काही कंपनीचं ऑडिट असेल, त्याच्या फाईल करताना तुम्ही काही कागद त्याच्यात नाही टाकत. सो सपोज company wants to develop wants data of 2016. So in that he has to check the 2060 data. Those faculty members or those staff members were there. They have properly included the work done by their department. So they have systematically done and they have systematically added the page, and through which the file is completed for 2016. करेक्ट. 2018 मध्ये येऊन मी 16 ची फाईल तयार कधीच करत, नॉट एट ऑल पॉसिबल. करेक्ट. So data will be missing in that case. That's why all the records, whatever you are keeping, that records are authentic because it requires some process. समजा आता कालचं बघा, unit test I have published, unit test notice I have published. So I have not published that directly by drafting you the message, unit test is scheduled on this, attend. No, I will have to go for the proper channel. Channel was I will have to develop that notice, prepare that notice, make the signature from my side, and then for approval I went for HOD. So HOD gives the approval, and after that I have post that, and after that also I mailed you. Why? Because that will be the authentic flow. That's why these records are again secondary data. जर डेटा सेकंडरी किंवा फर्निश नसतात तर मी युनिट टेस्ट घेतोय का नाही घेतोय हे मला पण कळालं नसतं, तुम्हाला पण समजलं नसतं, आणि त्याच्यातलं एक सिस्टमॅटिकपणा नसतं. So that's why the secondary data is always helpful to maintain the proper sequence while doing the research. Then all government, एक मिनिट. Okay, so this is about the secondary data. Now government publication, the PIB information or government new schemes, correct, new approach. new agendas, new rules, that always be there on paper, first of all. And while coming on paper, it required the signature, whatever be the authorized person, either it may be PM or CM, correct? So that authentication will be there. Suppose you can see someone is giving the MPSC exam. So for that, the first of all that notification is published with the signature of that MPSC director. After that, they will give the condition, how much amount of seats are there, what will be the date, what will be the criteria, black pen will have to use, and all that. So why this so? Because it will be furnished. त्यांनी ते फोनवर सांगितलं असतं किंवा अनाऊन्स केलं असतं तर त्याचा काही ऑथेंटिसिटी राहिली नसती, म्हणजे ते होईल का नाही याची गॅरंटी नसते. दॅट्स वाय सेकंडरी डेटा इज ऑलवेज फर्निश्ड अँड दॅट कॅन बी हेल्प्स टू गिव्ह द प्रॉपर इन्फॉर्मेशन. म्हणजे काय, जर मी बुक्स जुने वापरत असेल किंवा न्यूजपेपर वाचत असेल किंवा वेबसाईट्स बघत असेल, त्या अपडेटेड असतात. त्या अशा नाही की बाबा आता मी ओपन केले किंवा न्यूजपेपर आज मला 2010चा न्यूजपेपर मला आज भेटतो असं नाही, करेक्ट? सो दॅट विल बी द फर्निश डेटा दॅट वी कॉल्ड एज अ सेकंडरी डेटा. हे समजलं का बाळांनो? ओके. सो वन बाय वन secondary data related information definition लिहा. First of all, write down secondary data. Of course, it is furnished data. So I'll read: data collected by any person, comma, organization or agency in the past through surveys, comma, experiments or study फॉर सम अदर पर्पज. अदर म्हणजे काय, ऑर्गनायझेशनचा पर्पज असेल, अक्रेडिशनचा असेल, इन्स्टिट्यूटचा पर्पज असेल, डेव्हलपमेंटचा असेल, गव्हर्नमेंटचा पर्पज असेल, अगेन डेव्हलपमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू, फॉर सम अदर पर्पज बट used by the researcher to deal with the problem, correct? Or else you can write second definition: it is the data occur from primary data. Okay, we have seen the primary. Now secondary, it's a vyavasthit. One, newspaper, you will have to write in your own word, like newspapers are developed by proper information taken by the whatever be the operator, correct? Or newspaper group team, and they have collected the information, and out of that information they have put the main parameters, main points. तुम्ही बघा कुठलीही न्यूज कधीच फुल पेज नसते. काय नसते? So various news are there according to their size and shape. They have used, through which will get the all the information related to nearby areas. करेक्ट. इन केस ऑफ न्यूजपेपर तुम्ही लिहा, त्याचं एक एक्झाम्पल लिहा, वेबसाईटचं एक्झाम्पल लिहा, रेकॉर्डचं, बुकचं आणि गव्हर्नमेंट स्कीमचं. सो तोपर्यंत मी 1 मिनिटात येतो.
किती नुकसान होतंय? जर 10,000 उतरलं तर 4,30,000 नुकसान होईल. हा.
मग आपण मी त्याला काय म्हणलं 77 जाते ना आपलं काहीतरी 81 मग ते वरचे 2 सोडले समजा 75 आलं त्याचे डॉक्युमेंटचा खर्च येईल ते 3 झाला तर 1.5 लाख रुपये मला द्या बरोबर. त्याला माहिती प्रॉब्लेम आहे ना हे कमिशन नाही कशात.
हा बरोबर.
हे त्याला समजून सांग तुझी 5 लाख रुपये वाचते.
हा ते तर
लक्ष
आहे.
दे ना
नाही घेते पण ती पण थोडा सोलापूर नाही काही थोडा बघणार ती पण असं विषय.
कष्टाची
कारण की लय बी तोडून मग लयच कमी होते नाही का.
हॅलो योगेश.
हॅलो गुड
हॅलो
मॉर्निंग.
योगेश.
हा गुड मॉर्निंग.
योगेश युअर प्लीज म्यूट.
Okay. Have you written this?
Yes sir.
Okay.
Yes sir.
Now you can write like this also in exam. So the data, primary data, in that primary data, we'll have to consider the quantitative and qualitative, which we have seen in previous slide, previous lecture. So by this way also you can explain. So here I'll explain first and then you can write while listening the things. See, in case of the primary research or primary data collection, we'll have to maintain the survey. So while doing the survey, you can see, as we have seen in this slide, primary data is related to the survey. So I will have to mention the survey, but that survey is of a number of people. It is not like that we are taking survey of single person. Not at all possible. Survey means we'll have to go in the market, we'll have to see the opinion of others, number of persons, and then we'll have to make the conclusion. That's why survey is important. So that survey is always occurs in a quantitative manner. Therefore, it can come under quantitative data. So survey is having many types. As like you can see the personal interview. So personal interview in this case, I can say if anyone celebrity is there, we'll have to take the interview, and same questionnaire we'll have to ask with another celebrity. So that will be the kind of the survey. That will be the collection of their point of view towards the society or towards the nation or towards the their work. Correct. So that will be the kind of the survey, the personal interview. In that case, we cannot ask the personal interview means the interview which can be held in front of the press. So in that case, we cannot ask them the personal things. So when you are going for gym and all that, we cannot ask. The personal interview means what you are doing, what are your upcoming projects, what your thoughts, and why you are doing these things. So likewise, the questions have defined. In that case, personal interview. So second, again the through mail. So see, right now the due to pandemic, we are doing the things on a online base. So through mail, that will be the kind of the survey. So you will get many mails, I think, from the various websites that about the feedback. Suppose you have attended the workshop, they will give the mail. So mail us for your opinion, your feedback. Correct. So that will be again a kind of the survey. Then in-house and self-administered. So it is a kind of the survey because in case of the industry, many of things are developed from the prototype modeling or in-house testing. So through that in-house, they have collected the data, whether that should be suitable for the sent in the market or not, that can be checked with the existing system, and they will have to define the final thing. So that will be again part of the survey. Next will be the survey through telephone. Correct. So kind of the survey. Suppose in your area, some person is doing the social work. So he or she has to send the message related to the polio dose will be on this. The Shiv Jayanti program is this. So why this? This will be the telephonic consultation and survey he or she has taken for collecting votes. Correct. So this kind of the nature will be there in case of the survey. And as I told you, emails are also included in that. This is about the quantity data, number of person required. Now, quality data means we'll have to do the furnished things, correct? Not raw things, furnished things. So in that focused group, suppose I'm working on new model of car, which will be launched in 2020-22, correct? So in case of 22 point of view, suppose the engineers have team R&D group is there, and that R&D group have discussed among them. They have suggested the various suggestions. So that suggestion how it is helpful to human being, and as compared to the market point of view, they will have to define first. They will have to analyze the things. They will have to modify the things. ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी सगळ्यांच्याच होत नाही. समजा एखादी कंपनी आहे तर सगळेच R&D इंजिनियर होऊ शकत नाही. कळते? दॅट्स वाय इन द कंपनी द मेंटेनन्स ग्रुप इज सेपरेट, research group is separate, your production line is separate, correct? Assembly line is separate. So why this so? Because they will work focusedly on that particular given task. Therefore, it is again quality based. So that's why it comes, focus groups comes under quality data. Then individual depth interviews. Now this will be the qualitative. Individual depth. It means that interview should not be published. Understood? That will be the individual depth, and that's for collection of the data only. That will not be published. म्हणजे कोण काय कधी कसं म्हणालं हे त्या गोष्टी पर्सनली जर विचारला असेल तर त्या डिस्प्ले होत नाहीत, किंवा त्याचा रूलच असतो इट विल नॉट फॉर डिस्प्ले, इट इज जस्ट फॉर टेकिंग द इन्फॉर्मेशन. करेक्ट. थर्ड, human observation. Again, human observation in that case will have to consider the various, suppose as a research R&D engineer, if he is in focus group, so always he will think on that in that direction only. What will be the new things will be there while watching the different cars, while doing the design. He or she will have to think what should be the new approach from my end. So that will be the human observation, and through which the outcome will get, and that outcome is of course quality based. So that is come under qualitative data. Then case studies. Now case studies are used for understanding the thing. Remember, suppose I am doing work on a design and analysis of gearboxes. In that case, I will have to learn the case studies. What will be the kind of the gearbox used for two-wheeler? What will be the four-wheeler? What is the difference in gearbox in between that two, and why? So that I will have to understand. Then for heavy load or heavy duty vehicles, what kind of the gearbox is used? How it operate? What kind of the gear structure will be there? What types of the gears are used? So that case study I will have to study first, and then I'll proceed for creative work. Correct. So this will be the things in come under directly in case of the qualitative data. तर हे तुम्हाला कळालं असेल. तो याचे प्रॉपर ब्लॉक डायग्राम काढा, आणि हे इन्क्लूड कुठे करायचं, मागच्या स्लाइड मध्ये आपण मागच्या लेक्चरला जिथं बघितलं तिथं ते एक्झामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू इन्क्लूड करा. ठीक आहे. सो जस्ट राईट डाउन प्रायमरी रिसर्च डेटा कलेक्शन सोर्सेस, qualitative and quantitative data. Qualitative and quantitative data. So in case of the qualitative, you can write, and this is just they have mentioned for quantity. Yeah? Quantity for survey. हे सर्वे साठी त्यांनी फक्त कन्सिडर केले. जर तुम्ही बघितलं ओरिजिनल इन केस ऑफ द प्रायमरी डेटा, आय विल हॅव टू कलेक्ट द इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट क्वेश्चनायर, एक्सपेरिमेंट ऑल्सो. या सगळ्या गोष्टीसाठी प्रत्येक सेपरेट पार्ट होईल. पण आता यांनी फक्त सर्वेसाठी दिले. बाकीच्या मी गोष्टी सांगितलं. मी इथं क्वेश्चनायर बेस करून क्वेश्चनायरचे डिटेल्स पण लिहू शकता. युनिक आन्सर जर पाहिजे असेल तर त्या केसमध्ये. So yesterday we have given the requirement of answer sheet. So I got the answer sheet. Requirement has been sanctioned by HOD sir. Correct. So you can collect answer sheet tomorrow, and if possible, it's my humble request. If possible, you can solve the paper. Meet your respective subject teacher. If he or she has prepared the paper, you can collect the paper and solve it here only and submit it. They put best right. Of course, I have mentioned the dates of next week in unit test, but right now my paper is also ready. So you can take that paper, you can solve here and submit it tomorrow also. असंही करू शकता. And tomorrow try to meet me at any cost, because we'll discuss the policy developed by the SPPU Pune University, and you must know the policy though you are doing job or not. या सगळ्या गोष्टी तुम्हाला माहिती असणं गरजेचं आहे, म्हणजे पुढचं प्लॅनिंग कसं करायचं हे मी तुम्हाला त्या पद्धतीने गाईड करेल. हे झालं की सांगा मला लिहून. The primary research collection, qualitative and quantitative data. Actually, the answer of this question, data collection, is over. We'll have to define as per the previously we have written. First one is qualitative, quantitative, and then primary and secondary with example you can write, and that will be for 6 to 7 marks. Over this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now see, I'll tell you the difference in between primary and secondary data. So write down difference in primary and secondary data. So what is the major difference? It is not included in syllabus, but it will help to write the answer. So I'll tell you, see the difference. First, you can see the primary data is raw data and secondary data is furnished data. For that, they have mentioned, I'll read. The primary data implies the data gathered by the researcher or his or her team directly from the source of origin. That is very important. Source of origin for definite purpose. Correct? It is the source of origin and through which we'll have to collect. And secondary data refers to data used in research by investigator, which is originally gathered by some other person, or from primary data we have collect the information and prove it will work. So that will be the for some other purpose. So that is the major difference in case of the meaning. It is the source of origin for primary data, and secondary data, the furnishing done on that source of origin for serve the purpose. So just write down in your own word, primary versus secondary data, raw data and furnished data. Raw and furnished. Okay. Now see the second difference. Real time data. Why? Because source of original is real. It is original, real. So real time data we called as primary data, and of course secondary data is second handed. So we can say past data. Past data. Suppose I am using a law principle that is past data. So that is secondary data. Third, of course, due to source of origin, primary data is pure and original. Correct? And secondary is refined. It is refined data. Okay. So this will be the basic difference. How many more differences are there? Of course, primary data is expensive. Why? Because source of origin. Suppose in Iraq, Iran, oil tanks we have purchased. Every country they have exported. They have export the country. This oil and all tanks. So why? Because the source of origin is with them. Correct. So that will be the expensive, because through raw it will have to convert. So that will be the expensive. And now secondary data is economical, real, because what happened, we'll have to do the process on that raw material. We'll have to make the furnishing process, and through which it comes in market. So that's why it is economical. Okay. Second, in case of primary data, it is survey based, experimental based, interview based, questionnaire based. तसंच आपण सेकंडरी मध्ये बघितलेलं बुक्स, जर्नल, न्यूजपेपर, वेबसाइट्स, publication, government notices, all are come under secondary data. Correct. Second, in terms of accuracy and reliability, the original one is original one, no problem. That is more accurate, and the comparatively less secondary data. Comparatively less secondary data. Now, of course, first hand, second hand information related, you can write first hand and second hand.
Hello.
Yogesh
here, sir.
Yes, Yogesh.
So basically, the international standards available, so we can call them as a primary data, right?
International standards are available that are primary data. See, while international term is there, there will be some criteria. Correct,
Yes.
Yogesh?
Yes.
And
yes.
after fulfilling that criteria, then that data will be international one. Correct?
Yes. Means see, if any flanges is there, flanges are available in the market, and the sizes are already defined in the standards. So we just have to see our requirement and choose the flanges as per the standard. So that data we can say a primary, right?
Correct. In that technical point of view, you can say that will be the primary data. That will be the base.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, correct. So many times what happened, he is also correct. He is saying that the many standards, आपण पहिलं तर एक गोष्ट आहे की standards का ठरवले? Why we have decided the standard? Because the proper interchangeability will be there, and it is more comfortable for the operator as well as human being. So that's why the things are raw or standards. So that standards applicable to all the countries. That will be the primary data for case of the technical point of view. And that standard will have to refer, because suppose I'm doing shaft design and my answer came from shaft design is 15.5. So it is not possible to manufacture that 15.5 mm shaft. So for that standard as given, you will have to go for 20. Correct? Or in case of the threading also M8, suppose my answer is 7.5 for the threading. So I will not maintain that 7.5. I have to go for the standard, that is M8. And that kind of the tooling also available very easy. So technically we can say that will be the standard which will consider as a primary data in our case. Okay. Next. So this is also a kind of references I have added primary data, of course, time consuming because searching required lot many efforts. Suppose that in case of the oil well we got in our India also, तर त्या काही अशाच सापडल्या नाही, ज्या काही ऑइलच्या विहिरी आहेत त्या अशाच नाही सापडल्या. तर त्याच्यासाठी सर्च करायला लागलं, त्याच्यात अर्थ लोकेशन, अर्थ कंडिशन बघायला लागली, त्याच्यावर प्रिव्हियसली काय काम झालंय, मागच्या 20 वर्षात त्याच्यात काय झालं, आणि त्याच्यातून ते जे काही फायनलाइज झालं मग आपल्याला कळालं की इथे हे आहे. So what is that? It is a time consuming process. But in case of the secondary data, रॉ मटेरियल मिळाल्यामुळे लगेच आपण फर्निश, सपोज मला एखादा वुडन ब्लॉक मिळाला आणि आय विल हॅव टू कन्वर्ट दॅट वुडन ब्लॉक into roller. So it's very easy because I will use machining and through lathe also I can do the roller. So this is quick and easy. But to achieve that wood, that was very different because very difficult because in olden days bronze established, ब्रॉन्झ नंतर स्टील आलं, परत गोल्ड आलं, आणि त्याच्यानंतर परत आपण सगळ्या प्रोसेस करत गेलो. रिझन वॉज दॅट सर्चिंग टाइम, दॅट वॉज सर्चिंग टाइम. करेक्ट. नाउ क्विक अँड इझी इज व्हॉट in previous or you can take in before 19th century. What happened? The Mercedes cars, Benz cars are not that much are available, or that technology is not up to the mark. So many of us, we are using that bicycles and all that, correct, or train. Right now you can see in every home or in every house the 2 to 3 bikes or cars, at least single car is available. Why this so? It is quick and easy. We can take a decision, we can pay the money and we'll get the outcome. So that will be the quick and easy. Second primary data related to that, it will be the same person. Now it is again created differently. For collection of the information, the number of persons are distributed and through which will data will be gathered. So same person and different person, that much not feasible. You don't write this. Next will be the primary data, freshly collected for the project, of course, already collected and recorded, and through which modification has been done on that particular system. That will be the secondary data. Then last will be the related to the objective of the researcher. Correct. Whatever be the objective according to that. Suppose Nagraj Manjule wants to do new film, so he has to search the proper location. So that for that his objective is, suppose the local subject is there or village point of view is there, so he will not wander in Pune city area. So related to objective, researcher will have to go, correct. And in case of the secondary data, you can see adjust or use according to the need. तर मला फिरायचं नाहीये, मला लोकेशन बघायचे नाहीये, तर मी सेटअप मध्ये ते तयार करणार आणि तिथे दाखवणार. So this will be called as a secondary data, quick and easy, correct. So these are the basic difference in between primary and secondary data. While asking the question from examination point of view, you will have to write first of all qualitative and quantitative data means what. It is considered numerical, non-numerical value and their example. After that, you will have to explain the primary data, so each parameter with the example, secondary data definition with example, and the difference you can write 4-5 points out of in the difference, correct. So this will be your proper answer from examination point of view, correct. Now I'll tell you the additional information related to this. You can see the first one is the primary source, that is qualitative data. आपण survey फक्त घेतला. Now we'll have to consider the qualitative data in case of the focus group. We have discussed 8 to 10 members are there, and through which we'll have to finalize the things. And then panel is also same kind of the qualitative data. Now if you are approaching for somewhere for interview, so interview panel is there. Why? Because the various subject masters are available there, and they will ask the question. Suppose you went for the IS interview, so for the collector interview they are having various kinds of panel. One is for geography point of view, one is history point of view, another is for expression reading point of view, he will check. So this kind of the panel will be there. Why? Through which it will get the quality data, correct. So हे सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं असतं. So this is about the panel. Now, interview methods are also qualitative data. Interview methods means what? As I told you, if suppose personal interview will have to collect, or will have to collect press interview, in that case the different things are there. So some kind of the copy with Karan, this kind of the also interviews are happen. So that again the rules and the questionnaire is different for that case. Then the data collection sources, I have added this slide for your understanding, for writing the question, writing the answer from your end. So you can read this data collection tools and all that. So here also I have mentioned the observation schedule, checklist. Checklist is very important. Suppose while doing the job or while performing the operation, there is a checklist. First milling kara, nantar drilling kara, nantar shaping kara, nantar honing process kara, and so on. So that will be the process. According to that, we'll have to check, and that we called as a checklist. Checklist का बनवलं जाते? Because the manufacturing done sequentially. For that purpose, checklist is there. That is the role of checklist. Questionnaire, as I told you, see, traditional paper questionnaire, जे की प्रेस वाले जनरली घेतात. नंतर वेब बेस्ड क्वेश्चनायर, तो ऑनलाईन क्वेश्चनायर असते. So that will be the thing. आता जे कोण वर्कशॉप अटेंड करतायत, व्हायब्रेशन प्रशांत करतोय, भूषण आहे, महेश आहे, या लोकांना तर उद्या सॅटर्डेला त्यांचे क्वेश्चनायर असेल, उद्या टेस्ट असणार आहे त्यांची. So that will be the questionnaire which is totally web based. करेक्ट. तर तुम्ही इथं लिहायचं, इथून पीडीएफ पाठवायची, ती त्यांना पोचणार आणि मग ते चेक करणार आणि मग सर्टिफिकेट देणार, असं नाही. So within a second, after completion of, after clicking of submit button, they will give the detail. They will get the detail, and on the basis of that, they will give you the certificates on all that. This is a kind of the questionnaire. And after the session, they will again take the feedback, your view, how the program was. That will be from again web-based questionnaire they will prepare. Then interview schedule also. Interview schedule again, it is a kind of the data collection. What will be the suppose if interview is related to clerk, so interview schedule will have to properly put up, and data is that you can see in recently in the news, if government is having single post for clerk, the number of applications are there, thousands of applications are there. So what it indicates? It indicates that unemployability is there, and the people will not check the criteria. Either they are engineer, they are also applying for clerk. So these kind of the things are there in case of the. So that is again kind of the data collection. Correct. Next will be the measuring instrument. Of course, that is the part of the measurement and through which dimension collection of a particular product. So this is they have explained in this. This will be the checklist. एक example दिलेला आहे आणि त्या फ्लो मध्ये आपण जातो. ज्या गोष्टी नाहीये त्याला आपण क्रॉस करतो किंवा नो. Then questionnaire based, again type of the questions are different. Close ended questions, that is fixed response. Fixed response means what? See this question: do you like the color of product? Answer should be in between yes or no. That's it. So that is fixed response question, either positive or totally negative. So that is the first type, close ended question. Second type, open ended question. Open ended means you are free to give the answer, any kind of answer. Correct. Provide your suggestion. So you can provide the suggestion without any barrier that I will not say like this about workshop and all that. You will have to say the session was not good, not up to the mark. It will not help me for my future point of view, and so on. Whatever be the your suggestion. Then again, traditional mailed questionnaire. Traditional mail in olden days, म्हणजे 10-12 वर्षापूर्वी जर गोष्ट घेतली तर मेल चालायचं बऱ्यापैकी. करेक्ट. नाव वेब बेस्ड क्वेश्चनायर, आता काय होतं, विदिन अ सेकंड आपल्याला रिझल्ट मिळतो. आता राईट नाव वी आर युजिंग Microsoft Teams. Day before yesterday we have conducted the unit test of UG student. So I was shocked that I have conducted the unit test, and within a second after completion of that unit test, I'll get the mark Excel sheet properly for the particular student. So I just click on Excel sheet and arrange the data A to Z alphabetically. So I got total result within a minute. So that was the best thing. Earlier what happened, we have taken the we have We have collected the paper from the student. We have checked. We have put the mark, and then that mark I will have to write in Excel sheet, and then I will have to take a sign of HOD, and then I'll keep that document as authentic. So right now the question directly will get the web-based things. Now these are the popular sources. I think you might have aware about this. You can see Google form is there for the collection of information. So go survey. This is also a site which can take the data. Survey monkey also data collection tool. Type form, client heartbeat, go survey, survey Zismo, सर्वे प्लॅनेट. आता ह्याच्यात मी पण बऱ्याचपैकी यूज केले नाहीये आणि हे ऍडिशनल आपण चेक करू शकतो. सो दीज आर द टाइप्स ऑफ द क्वेश्चनर, ऑनलाईन क्वेश्चनर सर्वे टूल्स. सो हे थोडे तुम्ही लिहून घेतले तर बरे होईल. जस्ट राईट डाऊन दिस ऑनलाईन सर्वे क्वेश्चनायर. First, second thing, these are tools. तेवढी शक्य तेवढी इन्फॉर्मेशन मी स्लाइड मध्ये कोट केलेली आहे. Through which you can write the answer very correctly. So I have also from my side not used this survey nuts, questions pro, survey Zismo. I have also not used. Just you can write in your from your end. बोला की sir. बाळांनो, हे पॉइंट्स 1 मिनिट लिहा तुम्ही. एक मिनिटात सरांशी डिस्कशन करून तुमच्याकडे येतो. So this will be the things, types of the questionnaire. You can see this and try to develop the example for this. मी आलो. Okay, so this is about the types of the questionnaire. Structure question, close-ended आपण बघितलं, yes or no type, unstructured, semi-structured. ठीक आहे. So after that, the steps in the preparation of the questionnaire. ही काही गरज नाहीये आपल्याला एवढी डीपली, पण माहित असावं म्हणून मी टाकले. These are the steps. So one by one मी फक्त just key point सांगतो. Define the objective research of survey. Through survey, we'll have to define the questionnaire. Decide the information required. Which will be the information. Suppose मॉलचा मला फीडबॅक द्यायचा आहे एखाद्या, तर मॉल रिलेटेडच क्वेश्चन्स असते. इट इज नॉट लाईक दॅट की वेगळ्या मॉलचे विचारतील. नो. नाउ डिटरमाइन द टार्गेट रिस्पॉन्डंट. while using the questions, so language कुठली पाहिजे, वर्ड्स कुठले पाहिजे, त्याच्या स्ट्रक्चरची फ्रेमिंग कशी पाहिजे. सपोज I think you all are watching Kapil Sharma show. So while doing the interview from his end, he will prepare a questionnaire. So while asking the question, he has to mention the target. Target दिलेलं असते की बाबा ते yes no, ते परत ते वुडन प्लेट्स देतो हातात, त्याच्यात येस नो या पॅरामीटर मध्ये सांगायचं. That will be the things also there. Choose the method of reaching the target responder. So that will be the method. किंवा टेलिफोनिक आन्सर देणार आहे, इंटरव्ह्यू देऊन करणार आहे, क्वेश्चनर बेस पेपर वर्क करणार आहे, या पद्धतीने. नाव प्री टेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन आहे. प्री टेस्टिंग म्हणजे कुठलेही इंटरव्ह्यूज होताना पहिला टेस्टिंग पायलट सर्वे केला जातो. पायलट म्हणजे काय, इनिशियल सर्वे. तो इनिशियल सर्वे करून त्याची माहिती काढून मगच काय विचारायचं हे ठरवलं जातं. ते चेक होतं त्या पॅनल थ्रू आणि मग तुम्ही प्रॉपर इंटरव्ह्यूला तयार असता. सडनली असं काही लक्षात आलं आणि क्वेश्चन विचारला असं अजिबात होत. सो प्री प्लॅन आणि फोकस बेस असतं. सो दीज आर द एलिमेंट्स. क्वेश्चन कसे असावे, काय असावे, या पद्धतीनं आहे. इसेन्शियल्स ऑफ गुड क्वेश्चन्स, क्लॅरिटी व्यवस्थित असावेत, ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी. पायलट सर्वे ॲज आय टोल्ड यू, प्रिलिमिनरी किंवा रॉ सर्वे. प्री टेस्टिंग, before doing anything we'll have to pre-test. Suppose I'm going for a competition, project competition. So in case of project competition, whatever my project, I will have to test here, I will have to finalize the things, and then I will went for that particular location, and then I will have to run the things. So that will be pre-testing will be there. किंवा आता एखादा बघा प्रोजेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन मध्ये सोलरचे प्रोजेक्ट असतात, तर सोलरचे प्रोजेक्ट हे इन हाऊस मध्ये ठेवून नाही चालणार, त्याचा आउटकमच येणार नाही. सो प्री टेस्टिंग त्याचं काय असेल की सोलरचा जर माझा प्रोजेक्ट असेल तर त्याला जनरेशन ऑफ हीट किती वेळ लागतो, 1 तास लागतो. तर 1 तास लागतो तर मला त्या लोकेशनला 2 तास आधी पोहोचायला पाहिजे. आय विल हॅव टू मेंटेन द सेटअप अँड देन आय विल गेट द आउटकम. सो ह्याला म्हणतात प्री टेस्टिंग. ठीक आहे. So this is all about the data collection. So have you understood this?
Yes sir.
ठीक आहे. बऱ्यापैकी lot many slides I have added, so you can take a benefit from your side for this. फक्त आन्सर लिहिताना क्वेश्चनची डिमांड बघायचं आणि त्याच्यानुसार जायचं. अननेसेसरली 6 मार्काचं क्वेश्चन आहे आणि सगळंच लिहितो म्हणला काही चालणार नाही. त्या केसमध्ये 6 मार्कच्या क्वेश्चनला प्रॉपर ब्लॉक डायग्राम काढा, एक्सप्लेनेशन द्या, किंवा ब्लॉक डायग्रामच्या खाली त्याचं एक्झाम्पल द्या प्रत्येकाच्या इथं बॉक्समध्ये. दॅट इज ऑल्सो सुटेबल अँड करेक्ट आन्सर. ठीक आहे. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स अबाउट द डेटा कलेक्शन. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट ॲज पर द सिलेबस, राईट डाऊन स्केलिंग. स्केलिंग. Can anybody tell me what is scaling? Tell me what is scaling? What is scaling? Diagram indicate. And we are learning about measurement. So measurement point of view, scaling means it is the indication for the particular requirement. Correct. So and that is up to the mark or not, that we call it as a scaling. See, the scaling is nothing but it can be described as per the object, and it can be defined by the two ways. First is making a judgment about some characteristic of an individual and then placing him directly on the scale. That will be called as a scaling or construction of the questionnaire. आता समजा मला एखादा सर्वे करायचा आहे, तर मी प्रॉपर क्वेश्चनायर तयार करणार, त्याचा फीडबॅक घेणार आणि त्याचा रिझल्ट ऍव्हरेज मध्ये मांडणार. दॅट विल बी द स्केलिंग ऑफ दॅट पर्टिक्युलर survey. So this will be the scaling. So scaling can be described the procedure of measuring and assigning the object or responses to the number according to the some specific rule. That will be the scaling. एक मी एक्झाम्पल सांगतो, कंपॅरेटिव्ह स्केलिंग. कंपॅरेटिव्ह स्केलिंग म्हणजे काय बघा. सपोज फॅन्टा हे आता राईट नाव समर इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट अँड फॅन्टा हे किंवा माझा या टाईपचे कोल्ड ड्रिंक्स आपण पितो. आता ऍज अ डेव्हलपर किंवा ऍज अ इनोव्हेटर मला जर त्यांच्या मार्केटमध्ये उतरायचं असेल आणि त्या टाईपचं प्रोडक्ट तयार करायचं असेल, तर मला काय करायला लागेल, त्यांचे नॉर्म्स पहिला बघायला पाहिजे. कुठल्या फूड सेफ्टीचे नॉर्म्स त्यांनी फॉलो केलेत का, तर ते करून मला त्यांच्या पद्धतीने उतरायला पाहिजे. आणि त्यांच्या लेवलचा ब्रँड जर बनवायचा असेल तर त्या पद्धतीच्या ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी किंवा ऑफर्स मला कोट करायला लागतील. सो देन पब्लिक काय डिसाईड करणार, इकडे जायचं का तिकडे जायचं. सो ऑफकोर्स फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दे विल डिसाईड द स्टँडर्ड ब्रँड, आणि जसं तुमचं क्वालिटी असेल त्या पद्धतीने ते तुमच्याकडं येणार आणि त्या पद्धतीने डेव्हलपमेंट किंवा ग्रोथ होणार. सो दॅट विल बी द पार्ट ऑफ कंपॅरेटिव्ह स्केलिंग. किंवा एखादा कधी असं कधीच झालं नाही तर तुम्ही बघा, मेनी टाइम्स दिस काइंड ऑफ द थिंग्स आर हॅपन की इन केस ऑफ द स्केलिंग एकच ब्रँड थ्रू आउट द लाईफ टाईम किंवा एक दोन किंवा 20-20 वर्ष चाललंय, असं मोस्टली केसेसमध्ये होत नाही, बदलत जात. HD बुलेट होती गोल्डन काळात, आता नाहीये. HDची नाही, वेगळ्या टाईपची बुलेट आहे. सो दॅट लाईकवाईज चेंजेस आर देअर. सो हे काय झालं, दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द स्केलिंग. सो दॅट विल बी द मेजरमेंट and will collect the response, and according to that their value will have to define in the market, correct. So this will be about the scaling. So I'll take the basic things. So before going to start, so just write down the definition of the scaling. Write down scaling can be described, the procedure of measuring and assigning the object comma responses to the numbers according to some specified rules. This can be divided into write down first, making a judgment about some characteristics of an individual and then placing him directly on scale. Okay. That is scaling. The example मी सांगतो. सपोज एखादा व्यक्ती किंवा तुमच्यातला स्टुडंट माझ्याकडे आला, सर मला ह्याचं आन्सर पाहिजे होतं, करेक्ट. सर याचं आन्सर काय असू शकतं. त्या केसमध्ये मी असं सांगू शकतो की बाबा यू कॅन यूज द रेफरन्स बुक्स. हे रेफरन्स बुक आहे आणि इथं लायब्ररीत मिळेल तुला, आणि देन यू विल गेट द आन्सर, आणि ते आन्सर माझ्याकडे घेऊन ये. ह्याच्यातून स्केलिंग काय झालं, यार सरांकडे गेले की सर रेफरन्स बुक वाचायला सांगतात. हे झालं स्केलिंग त्या पर्टिक्युलर स्टाफ. सो दॅट विल बी द डिपेंड्स ऑन इंडिव्हिज्युअल. समजा एखाद्याला लगेच राग येतो, तर त्याचे आपण जजमेंट ऍज अ फ्रेंड म्हणून किंवा ऍज अ काय जे कलिग म्हणून काय करणार, त्याचं स्केलिंग असणार की बाबा तू चिडतो या गोष्टींवर. दॅट विल बी स्केलिंग इंडिव्हिज्युअली. हे झालं स्केलिंग, मेकिंग द जजमेंट. किंवा एखादा फार स्ट्रिक्ट आहे, काहीच एक्सक्युजेस ऐकून घेत नाहीये, तो त्याला 100% अटेंडन्स पाहिजे कसल्याही परिस्थितीत, मग तू कुठेही अस. सो दॅट विल बी द अगेन त्याचं स्केलिंग काय होईल, स्ट्रिक्ट आहे. सो दिस इज द criteria which depends individually, individual behavior. So हे एक टाइपचं झालं स्केलिंग. सेकंड, राईट डाऊन कन्स्ट्रक्टिंग क्वेश्चन आहे, म्हणजे सर्वे बेस. कन्स्ट्रक्टिंग क्वेश्चन आहे in a such a way that the score of individual responses assign him a place on scale. Just I have given the example unit test. Day before yesterday we have taken the unit test. I have prepared the questionnaire. Of course, MCQ type question was there. So through which I prepare who is topper, who is medium player, and who is failed student. So I have distributed the things through that question. So this is again part of the scaling. See, he is not attentive, he is not studying very well. So that kind of the conclusion I can found directly from the responses from the by the student. Correct? So this is about the scaling. Scaling म्हणजे काय हे कळालं का रे बाळांनो? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rest members, have you understood scaling?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Now see the types of the scaling. The scalings are defined in two ways. First one is comparative scaling, as I have given you the example of Fanta, Mango, that cold drink. Comparative scaling and non-comparative scaling. So just write down, block diagram करा, scaling techniques म्हणा, दोन arrow करा, comparative and non-comparative. One by one आपण दोन्ही बघू. Just write down comparative scaling. Comparative scaling and non-comparative scaling. दुसरे जे मी काल ग्रुपवर ज्यांची लिस्ट पाठवले, ज्यांचे डॉक्युमेंट पेंडिंग्स आहेत, जे काय आहे ते मी पाठवले ग्रुपवर, तुम्हाला मेल पण केलाय. ते पर्टिक्युलर इंडिव्हिज्युअलनी ते कम्प्लीट करावं. लक्षात घ्या, कारण ऑफिस स्टाफ कडून डेली मला मेल येतात, ते मी तुम्हाला फॉरवर्ड करत असतोय. जे कोणाचे राहिले, जे कोण स्कॉलरशिपचे आहेत, त्यांचे ते काय जे काय राहिले डॉक्युमेंट, या सगळ्या गोष्टी वेळच्या वेळी बघून ते सबमिट करणं ही तुमची प्रायर मोस्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आहे. ते परत तुम्ही असं नाही म्हणू शकत की सरांनी सांगितलं होतं, मला वेळ नव्हता, मी कामात होतो. हे चालत नाही बरं का, मी तुम्हाला सांगतोय. व्हॉट एव्हर बी द प्रायोरिटी इम्पॉर्टन्स, जर तुम्ही हे सिलेक्ट केलंय तर तुम्हाला ते करणं गरजेचं आहे. कारण तुमच्या एंडला किंवा तुमच्या थ्रू तो फॅकल्टी करेल असं म्हणजे शक्यच नाहीये. अंडरस्टूड? सो व्हॉट एव्हर बी द थिंग्स रिलेटेड टू द डॉक्युमेंट, एक्झाम फॉर्मची परत डेट वाढली, आज लास्ट डेट केले त्यांनी. मला वाटतं आपल्यापैकी बऱ्यापैकी सगळ्यांनी भरलेले आहेत, पण डॉक्युमेंटचा विषय आहे. तो जे कोणाचे डॉक्युमेंट्स नाहीयेत त्यांनी स्वतः येऊन किंवा कोणाला तर मित्राला इथं पाठवून ते डॉक्युमेंट घेऊन तिथं सबमिट करून यांची पोचपावती घेणं फार महत्वाचं आहे. लक्षात घ्या. Because once the document have not submitted, it directly indicate you have not taken the admission. डायरेक्ट त्याचा अर्थ तसा होतो. समजते? तर त्यामुळे ज्यांचे कोणाचे डॉक्युमेंट नाहीयेत त्यांनी ते अमोल एक होतं त्यात. परत मला आता दिसते त्या लिस्ट मध्ये प्रांजल एक होती.
सर मी दिलंय सर डॉक्युमेंट.
त्यांचा रिप्लाय काल मला आलाय. काल तारीख टाकले बघ मी, 18 तारखेचा सकाळचा 9:15चा मेल आहे त्यांचा मला. तर तू काय कर, ज्यांचं तू जर दिला असशील तर त्या केसमध्ये तिथं नंबर दिलेत बघ आपण, किंवा मी ग्रुपवर पण टाकलेत. त्या स्टाफला त्यांना 9 ते 5 मध्ये फोन कर आणि कन्फर्मेशन घे बाबा माझं नाव कसं काय आलं म्हणून. ठीक आहे?
केला होता सर त्यांना कॉल, ते बोलले की काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही, उशीर लागेल बा थोडा आमच्याकडे अपडेट व्हायला.
हा ठीक आहे, मग ते अपडेट करून घ्या म्हणा, आम्हाला इकडे मेल पाठवू नका. ठीक आहे. प्रांजल, तुझं पण चेक करून घेशील, तुझं पण नाव आहे त्याच्यात. प्रणवचं पण आहे वाटतं. तो त्याचे बघा, जे काय आहे नाव त्या पद्धतीने तुम्ही तुमच्या लेवलला करा. ओके. So we'll move toward the comparative. So comparative scaling has three types. One is paired comparison. Paired means in between two each other. So that will be the pair comparison. Second will be the rank order, and third will be the constant sum. So just write down the classification. In case of comparative scaling, you can write first one, paired comparison, rank order, and constant sum. So I'll explain paired comparison. Write down carefully. Paired comparison, rank order, and constant sum. That will be the distribution in case of comparative scaling. So in case of paired comparison, see, as I told you, for the brand, suppose I will have to prepare my brand or new innovative brand. In that case, I will have to compete with the standard brand, and I will have to establish my new brand only because of quality standard. तरच आपलं होईल. आता इथे एक एक्झाम्पल मी कोट केले. A respondent make a choice between new flavor of soft drink and establish a brand of drink. आणि तो ब्रँड एक्झिस्टिंग ब्रँडशी कम्पीट करण्यासारखा असावा. That is very important. Now you can see Bisleri bottles are there right now in the market. So many more types are there. So in case of olden Bisleri bottles, so the water was not that much good quality. Now त्याने परत दुसरा डेव्हलपर आला किंवा न्यू ब्रँड घेऊन आले, त्याच्यात बऱ्यापैकी क्वालिटी होती. राईट नाउ द थिंग्स आर चेंज. Again, the lot many companies are there for that water bottles. So जर त्यांना स्टँड व्हायचं असेल तर त्या पद्धतीने तुम्ही बघा एसटी स्टँडवर जनरली ज्या काही बॉटल्स मिळतात 10 रुपयाला मिळतात. क्वालिटी त्या वॉटरची अशी काय चांगली नसते. परत तुम्ही जर क्वालिटी आणि क्वांटिटीचा विचार करता, प्राइस वाढत जाते अँड सो ऑन. मग ह्याच्यातला डिसिजन कसं घेऊ शकतो पर्सन? By testing that only, correct? So likewise we'll have to make the comparison. So that we called as a pair comparison, and this is for innovative or creators. So those who want to develop something new brand, for that. आता बरेच जर तुम्ही बघितले तर नागपूर साईडला हल्दीरामचे आहेत, चिप्स असतील, वेपर्स असतील अँड सो ऑन, काही जास्त. तर त्याच पद्धतीने इकडं आता लेज आणि ह्या ज्या गोष्टी आहेत त्यांचा ब्रँड वेगळा आहे. दोन्ही चालताना त्याचं कॉम्पिटिशन होतं. सो दॅट वी कॉल्ड एज अ पेअर्ड कंपॅरिझन. किंवा पर्टिक्युलर हल्दीरामचा ब्रँड तिथंच चालतो. अंडरस्टूड? दॅट रिजन ओनली. इन केस ऑफ दिस पुणे एरिया और मुंबई एरिया, लेस चान्सेस. तर हे का? सो दॅट इज अकॉर्डिंग टू द मार्केटिंग पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू अँड द कस्टमर रिक्वायरमेंट और कस्टमर इंटरेस्ट पॉइंट ऑफ. त्या पद्धतीने ब्रँड हा बनत असतो. So this comes under peer comparison, and this is about the scaling. काय? This is about the scaling. कारण आपण ब्लाइंडली म्हणतो, सपोज वुडलँडचा शूज आपण परचेस करतो, डायरेक्ट आपण वुडलँड कडे जातो का? ऑलरेडी वी हॅव यूज्ड, ऑलरेडी नो द वेल नोन ब्रँड अँड वी आर बिलिव्हिंग ऑन दॅट. करेक्ट? सो दॅट्स वाय वील हॅव टू मूव्ह फॉर वुडलँड डायरेक्टली. सो हे कंपॅरिझन ऑलरेडी आपण ते स्केल केलंय की वुडलँड इज बेस्ट. सो आपलं स्केल ते म्हणजे इंडिव्हिज्युअल स्केल डिफरंट आहे. वुडलँड इज ओके. करेक्ट? सो नायकेचा शूज असेल, सो इन केस ऑफ दॅट मेनी ऑफ गोज फॉर द नायके ओनली. करेक्ट? सो दॅट इज स्केलिंग. आपल्याला जे पटते, जे आवडते, जे आपण टेस्ट करून बघितले किंवा जे यूज करून बघितले, दॅट विल बी ब्रँड अँड दॅट कॉल्ड एज अ पेअर्ड कंपॅरिझन. करेक्ट? सो जस्ट राईट डाऊन दिस. In this method, a respondent can express his attitude by making a choice between two objects. Choice between two objects. Correct? Its own choice. एक्झाम्पल घ्या. यू कॅन कोट एनी एक्झाम्पल. वुडलँड शूज घ्या, नायके शूज घ्या, किंवा तुमचं काय जे असेल एखादं एक्झाम्पल मला सांगा तुमच्या एंडला डिफरंट दॅन दिस. About paired comparison in case of scaling. Tell me. Anyone? Tell me any example. Amol, Aniket.
Watch brand, sir. Titan.
Correct. Titan. We'll directly go for the Titan. That is again comparative, and we have decided that we have used that earlier, or we have seen somewhere the response, or what we can say, the quality, and through which we have decided. That will be the paired comparison. Anyone? Any another example?
Yes, sir. Lots of notebook brands are in there in market, but actually more people prefer for classmate notebook.
Correct. The classmate, because the what the drawings and all that, the quality of the paper on the basis of that, or someone has thought that still I remember my school days, that's why I'm purchasing. So likewise things are there. So it is a connection. It is a kind of connection. That's why this will be the brand, or we can say it can be paired comparison. Correct. Good one. Okay. कुठलेही एक्झाम्पल तुम्ही देऊ शकता रिलेटेड टू दिस. नेक्स्ट, रँक ऑर्डर. आपण इथं आलोय. रँक ऑर्डर. So rank order it itself indicate we'll have to maintain the proper sequence. That is called as a rank order. Example. See, suppose I'm doing lot many of activities in a day, but I will have to define the priority. So I will have to maintain the order. Suppose I am a student like you. So my priority would be firstly I will have to attend the session in between 9 to 5 p.m. whatever it may be. After that my priority will have to go for play in between 5 to 7. After that my priority will be your dinner. After that walking, and so on. So that will be the sequence. कळते. आपण असं कधीच नाही करू शकत की बाबा पहिला जेवतो, खातो आणि मग खेळायला जातो, असं नाही होत. So we'll have to maintain the sequence. So that we call it as a rank order. Correct. So this is about the rank order, and that can be defined. It is the method of comparative scaling, means priority based scaling. The respondent are asked to about their choices, or he can decide his choices. Correct. So example baga, which activity would be like to do in your spare time? So first, watching TV. प्रत्येकाची individual असेल, जे काय असेल. So that we called as a rank order, and this is about the scaling of that particular individual. ठीक आहे. एखाद्याला गेमच आवडते, एखाद्याला पबजी खेळायला आवडते. So that will be its त्याची रँक ऑर्डर वेगळी असणार आहे. समजते. So just write down second one, rank order, and tell me any example related to this. This is very simple. Rank order. While working in industry, can anybody tell me what should be the rank order as per your work? Anyone? Rank order. Before that, just write down. बोल.
तर एक्झाम प्रिपरेशनच्या वेळेस जे थेअरी सब्जेक्ट आहेत आणि काही न्यूमेरिकल सब्जेक्ट आहेत, तर प्रत्येकाची काय ग्राफिंग पॉवर नुसार प्रत्येक जण रँक वेगळं करतो. काही जण न्यूमेरिकल सब्जेक्ट्सला आधी रँकिंग देतात आणि थेरोटिकल सब्जेक्ट ऍट दी एंड करतात.
Correct. Good one. Good one. So according to that, we'll have to define the rank order. आता मागचीच केस सांगतो, म्हणजे तुमचीच बीला जी मुलं होती, आता भूषण होता, तर बीच्या मुलांना जेव्हा त्यांनी युनिव्हर्सिटीने गाईडलाईन दिल्या की बाबा एमसीक्यूज टाईप तुमची एक्झाम होणार आहे, त्या केसमध्ये थेरॉटिकल वाचायचं मुलांनी बंद केलं. सो दे हॅव गॉन टुवर्ड्स द एमसीक्यूज, मार्केटमध्ये गेले, एमसीक्यूजचे बुक्स मिळतात का बघितलं आणि त्या पद्धतीने स्टडी चालू केलं. ठीक आहे. सो ऍज पर द कंडिशन विल हॅव टू डिसाइड द रँक ऑर्डर और अँड दॅट विल बी इंडिव्हिज्युअली डिसाइडेड. ते कोण दुसरं ठरवू शकत नाही किंवा तुझं प्लॅनिंग कसं असावं हे मी सांगणार असं नाही होत, किंवा ते फॉलो होईल ते पण नाही सांगता येत. सो दॅट विल बी कम अंडर रँक ऑर्डर. सो राईट डाऊन डेफिनेशन. दिस मेथड is come under comparative scaling, where respondent are asked to rank their choices. So example मध्ये लिहा, which activity would you like. दुसरं कुठलंही एक्झाम्पल तुम्ही कोट करू शकता, जसं भूषणने आता सांगितलं थेरॉटिकल अँड न्यूमेरिकल बेस्ड, त्याच्यानुसार मी सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्ट करणार, स्टडी तसा ठेवणार. दिस विल बी अबाउट रँक ऑर्डर. किंवा तुम्ही एखाद्या प्लांटचे हेड आहात, प्रोडक्शन हेड, आणि तुमचे सिनियर मॅनेजर येऊन तुम्हाला विचारतायत की हे आपल्याला डेव्हलप करायचं आहे, एवढा स्पॅन आहे, 1 महिन्याच्या जवळजवळ 100 आपल्याला प्रोडक्ट बनवायचे आहेत, तुझ्याकडे माणसं एवढी आहेत, वर्कर्स एवढे आहेत, इंजिनियर्स एवढे आहेत, आणि नाव यू विल गिव्ह मी द प्लॅन, ऍक्टिव्हिटी प्लॅन. सो दॅट विल हॅव टू मेंटेन द सिक्वेन्स. करेक्ट. आणि त्याला म्हणतात रँक ऑर्डर डिफाइंड बाय द पर्टिक्युलर ऑर्गनायझेशन हेड. झालं की सांगा मला. Have you done this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is about a rank order. Now, third one is constant sum. Can anybody tell me any example related to constant sum? Or else I'll explain first and then you can tell me. See, constant sum means we have assumed, we have defined the things are like this. Example, suppose we are going for holidays. So we have decided for traveling 50,000 is required. Correct. For lunch, total days, suppose 3 days. For that, it will require again 10,000. Correct. For their shopping case, it required 10,000. And for again, for food purpose, it will require again 10,000. So that will be the constant which we have decided. But actual practice, it will be more than that or less than that. No problem. But that will have to define. That term is called as a constant sum in case of scaling. So आपण स्केल करतो, जेव्हा ट्रॅव्हलिंग जातो तेव्हा आपण डिसाईड करतो किंवा आपला खर्च या रेंजमध्ये होणार आहे आणि ह्या गोष्टी इथं खर्च होणार आहे. सो दॅट विल बी द रेंज. आणि त्याच्यात मग ऍक्च्युअली कमी होईल किंवा जास्त येईल ते सांगता येत नाही. सो दॅट ऍज पर द सिच्युएशन. बट ऍज आवर रोल विल हॅव टू मेन्शन द this constant sum. Have you understood this? It's very simple concept. So anyone can tell me any example related to constant sum.
Hello, sir.
बोल मनोज.
Sir, it's exam marks when we are predicting the exam. In exam, we have solved one question, and we are supposed to get 2 marks. But in that, actually, we are getting the 1 mark or more, maybe more than that.
Correct. And finally, we have calculated out of 50, I'll get minimum this in that range.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, good one, good one. अजून काय example बाकीचे constant sum. That is a part of scaling. Scaling. काय काय लोक असे असतात बघा, म्हणजे जेवढे लिहिले तेवढे मार्क पडणारच. समजा मी 20 मार्क लिहून आलो, सो ही इज फुल्ली कॉन्फिडेंट 20 मार्क ॲट एनी केस आय विल गेट. सो हा त्याचा कॉन्स्टंट सम झाला, त्याचं डिस्ट्रीब्युशन पॉइंट ऑफ. एनी एक्झाम्पल फ्रॉम युअर एंड, रेस्ट मेंबर्स?
येस सर.
प्रणव.
समजा आपण ऍक्च्युली आता एक घर बांधायला ठरवलं. आता ऍक्च्युली मी पण एक घर बांधत आहे, त्यामुळे एक्झाम्पल सांगतोय मी. आता म्हणजे पूर्ण घर बांधायला एवढा खर्च येणार आता मी कॅल्क्युलेट केलेला आहे. त्यानुसार सिमेंटला खर्च किती येणार, त्यानंतर त्याला खर्च आउटकम काढून या प्रकारे.
एकदम बरोबर, एकदम बरोबर. या सगळ्या गोष्टी करेक्ट आहेत. इवन मॅरेज सेरेमनी किंवा ह्या गोष्टीला पण आपण फाइंड आउट करतो या सगळ्या गोष्टी. दॅट वी कॉल्ड एज अ कॉन्स्टंट सम. अंडरस्टूड? सो जस्ट राईट डाऊन. दिस टेक्निक इज युज्ड. This technique is used to access relative importance attached by the respondent to the similar objects. Next, the respondent gives certain points to each similar object out of a fixed sum of points. For example, you can write any example which you like and tell me after example writing. So then we'll move for next slide. Or
yes sir, over.
Now second type, non-comparative scaling. So here comparison will not be there. So first write down the block chart: graphic rating, itemized rating, multiple category scale, verbal frequency scale. I'll explain one by one. Just write down non-comparative scaling. Graphic rating or continuous rating, itemized rating, multiple category scale, verbal frequency scale. This will be the non-comparative scaling. Non-comparative scaling. Okay. So we'll start with the continuous rating or graphic rating. In case of this continuous rating or graphics rating, it indicates the performance. Suppose in unit test first I got 2 marks, so my performance is bad. But in case of unit test 2, I am not saying that always bad performance is there. So if I get the 10 marks, so it is having poor performance. In third unit test, I'll get more marks. So it is fair, then good and excellent. So it means that the continuous rating depends on the situation, and that situation base will have calculate as a graphic rating. So then finally, जेव्हा मी युनिट टेस्ट ॲव्हरेज करणार तेव्हा मला कळेल की हा कॅन्डिडेट पुअर बॅड आणि पेअर एक्सलंट कुठे बसतोय. सो दॅट डिपेंड. सो दॅट वी कॉल्ड एज कंटिन्युअस रेटिंग और ग्राफिकल रेटिंग. याच्या कुणाशी कंपॅरिझन होत नाही, फक्त इंडिव्हिज्युअलचं कंपॅरिझन इंडिव्हिज्युअलशीच होत. म्हणून आपण म्हणतो दिस विल बी कम अंडर नॉन कंपॅरेटिव्ह. द इंडिव्हिज्युअल परफॉर्मन्स कॅन बी फाइंड आउट ॲज पर द condition from bad to excellent every case. So that we call it as a continuous rating. Correct? So या पद्धतीने आपण continuous rating कडे बघतो जो की non comparative. So just write down continuous rating or graphic rating definition. In this method various points are considered. Various points are considered in line form. In line to form a continuum and rate it simply by making mark at appropriate point. At appropriate point on the line. On the line that runs from one extreme to other. One extreme to other. Example. तुम्ही तुमच्या ओन वर्ड मध्ये लिहू शकता किंवा सी आय put another example. Suppose in olden days means up to UG, we are having habit of reading the books. After UG, we are lazy, we are busy in our work, so less reading will be there. So in case of reading, my performance was before UG or in case of up to UG, it was good. Now right now my performance is bad because I'll not get the time or I'll separate for reading. Correct? So that will be the rating, continuous rating. So any example from your end for continuous rating? No comparison. Comparison is with respect to you only.
Sir, performance appraisal in companies.
Performance
appraisals yearly. What we have done.
Correct. Performance appraisal. Ekdam barobar. So what you have done in a whole year on the basis of various points, they will tell you. They will ask you. So that will be the performance. Suppose in case of institute point of view, I'll tell you the performance of teacher, how many publications, how many subjects taught in this year, what will be the result. So that will be the various points on which the performance bad, poor, fair, good, and excellent. Correct. Anyone? Any another example? Tell me. Amol, Utkarsha, any example from your end? Shubham? So any individual comparison that we consider as a graphic ratio. Okay? So I hope you understood this. Example लिहून घ्या तुमच्या एंडला. Example. Now second, itemized rating. Itemized rating. So this part we'll study in the next lecture. So right now it is 10:40. In today's session, I have covered the data collection in that primary data, secondary data, qualitative data, quantitative. We have written the things which are important, and also I have added in the slide. After that, we went for the in that scaling, comparative and non-comparative scaling. So in comparative scaling, we have seen the type of the comparative scaling in that paired comparison, rank order, constant sum. So this example we have seen. Then we move towards the non-comparative scaling, graphic rating, itemized rating, and all that. So graphic rating we have seen, and rest part we'll see in next lecture. So I hope you understood. Have you understood this session?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
You can collect your assignment sheet, unit assignment sheet from the Bhushan. And if any query, you will have to meet me, and tomorrow we'll discuss very important point related to our examination point of view. So after your mathematics session, you can meet me as like previously you have met me. So we'll discuss the thing and we'll finalize the things. What will be the strategy for our first year? Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.